Start. Further submission is that no disclosed offence under Section 406 IPC is made out against the petitioner, as the petitioner never entrusted in any manner any property, nor he misappropriated any property, nor converted to his own use. It is further submitted that if the prosecution story is accepted in toto, then only the allegation against the petitioner is for violating the government purchase policy. The petitioner, in violation of purchase policy, purchased more than 100 quintals paddy. Further submission is that in this case 5 farmers sold more than 100 quintals paddy. During investigation, this fact is clearly established that the purchase price is totally paid to the farmers. Even if the irregularity has been committed by the petitioner, then in such circumstances, no criminal offence is made out against the petitioner. If the petitioner purchased paddy in violation of purchase policy, then only administrative or departmental action could be initiated against him. Thus, the charge sheet as well as entire proceedings initiated against the petitioner is liable to be set aside. Learned AGA for the state has submitted that after investigation, charge sheet has been submitted against the petitioner and consequently cognizance order has been passed. As such, prima facie offence is made out against the petitioner. This court perused the entire record. Perusal of FIR shows that the petitioner was the in charge of paddy purchase center. As per purchase policy, it was the duty of the petitioner not to purchase more than 100 quintal. As per allegation made in the FIR, it transpires that the petitioner purchased more than 100 quintals paddy. The petitioner violated the clear mandate of purchase policy of the government. Therefore, the petitioner has committed irregularity for purchase of paddy crops from agriculturists. Thus, it amounts to dereliction of duty on the part of the petitioner. In this regard, departmental administrative action can be initiated against the petitioner. The criminal breach of trust has been defined under Section 405 IPC, which reads as under: whoever being in any manner entrusted with property or with any dominion over property dishonestly misappropriates or converts to his own use that property, or dishonestly uses or disposes of that property in violation of any direction of law prescribing the mode in which such trust is to be discharged, or of any legal contract expresses or implied which he has made touching the discharge of such trust, or willfully suffers any other person so to do commits criminal breach of trust. A careful reading of Section 405 shows that the ingredients of a criminal breach of trust are as follows: a person should have been entrusted with property or entrusted with dominion over property. That person should dishonestly misappropriate or convert to their own use that property, or dishonestly use or dispose of that property, or willfully suffer any other person to do so, and that such misappropriation, conversion, use or disposal should be in violation of any direction of law prescribing the mode in which trust is to be discharged, or of any legal contract which the person has made touching the discharge of such. Entrustment is an essential ingredient of the offence. A person who dishonestly misappropriates property entrusted to them contrary to the terms of an obligation imposed is liable for criminal breach of trust and is punished under Section 406 of the Penal Code. Whoever commits criminal breach of trust shall be punished with imprisonment of either description for a term which may extend to 3 years, or with fine, or with both. Perusal of the definition under Section 405 IPC shows that entrustment of the property, as well as if the property is converted to his own house, then the offence under Section 406 IPC is made out. This court, in exercise of its jurisdiction under Section 482 CRPC, is to examine whether the averments in the complaint constitutes the ingredient necessary for an offence alleged under the Penal Code. If the averment taken on their face do not constitute the ingredients necessary for the offence, the criminal proceedings may be quashed under Section 482. A criminal proceeding can be quashed where the allegations made in the complaint do not disclose the commission of an offence under the Penal Code. The complaint must be examined as a whole without evaluating the merit of the allegations, though the law does not require that the complaint reproduce the legal ingredients of the offence. The complaint must contain the basic facts necessary for making out an offence under the Penal Code. Inherent powers under Section 482 CRPC include powers to quash FIR, investigation, or any criminal proceedings pending before the High Court or any courts subordinate to it, and are of wide magnitude and ramification. Such powers can be exercised to secure ends of justice, prevent abuse of the process of any court, and to make such orders as may be necessary to give effect to any order under this code, depending upon the facts of a given case. Court can always take note of any miscarriage of justice and prevent the same by exercising its powers under Section 482 CRPC. These powers are neither limited nor curtailed by any other provisions of the Code. However, such inherent powers are to be exercised sparingly and with caution. Over.